Hey guys, JH, welcome to the practice tee. And it's a windy old practice tee today. Okay guys, carrying on from our fold and hammer golf swing. I've got a name for it, guys. I'm going to call it the USD. You know the UFC in America, the Ultimate Fighting Championship? Well, this is going to be called the USD. And it stands for the Ultimate Slapdown. Because guys, that's what this is. It's a slapdown. Absolute slapdown. It's more of a slap down than a hammer down. Guys, it's very, very similar to that guy out of Beaumont, Texas that was a bit of an internet phenomenon about 4 years ago. Lee Como from Beaumont, Texas. Man, he could just crush the golf ball. And a great system, but I think the injustice of what happened to that was the fact that Lee couldn't explain it very well. He knew what he was doing, but he just couldn't get across to the masses what he was doing. He knew what he was doing, but he couldn't explain what he was doing. I still don't know what he was doing, but I can deduce from the look of his golf swing what I think he was doing. Now there's a lot of, and he called his a push slap, and he very much did that. Now mine is similar in that I basically just, bicep curl the club away from the ball while it's looking at it. It's more a tricep curl, guys. That's a bicep. And when you bicep curl something, here, you have the palm open and facing you. But in a tricep curl, if you're pulling a weight up or pulling it down, you've got the palm facing away from it. So from a training terminology point of view, this is more of a tricep curl because I want the palm facing down. I want the claw effect down. I don't want the palm up. I'm not bringing it up like this. I'm basically taking it up like that. And the downswing action, guys, once we've got it here, the downswing action is basically just a slap down at the ball. And I mean out to the ball, out and down, out. What Lee Como did was he actually tried to hit the outside of the golf ball. So he was really firing it out there, and his action was out there and then over here. It was just wham, like that. It was here, wham, here, wham. Hard radial acceleration here. Just really handsy, very foldy, very slappy. Now, he had huge power. I never saw him in person, but I know a couple of guys that went and saw him. And they said, he hit the ball really good. He was a bit erratic and hit the ball very low and hit a lot of, really hard slingers and stuff. But his actual impact on the ball was sensational, and he could move it. He could hit it 330, 340. Just hammered the ball. Probably the best impact next to Mo Norman that you'll ever hear. Not like JH's Kashmir insert, but Lee was a strong dude, and I would love to spend some time with him because he's very, here's what you need in golf. You need the guys that are really left field and right field at the same time. He was fantastic. I may still get to see him. I don't know where he went. I think he got a little disillusioned with a lot of the rubbish that was coming back at him from people that couldn't understand what he was doing. But they just weren't tactful. They should have just said, can we get just a little bit more definition? But they were actually scathing of him, and he just basically left the secret in the dirt and said, to heck with it, I don't need that. And he didn't, and I agree. If you're watching, Lee, I agree with exactly what you did. Some of those guys that on those forums that just They're a waste of written space. I mean, guys like you know, pour your heart out, you do it for nothing. And then you get castigated for it on occasions. I don't understand that. So, buddy, if you're out there, Lee, and you ever see this, I'm a fan. I love what you did and what you do, and I'd love to sit down one day and have a coffee with you and talk about this. I may get over that. I've been to Texas quite a bit. I haven't been down to Beaumont, but who's to say we won't meet up? JH and Lee, that'd be good. A couple of like souls. Okay, guys. So yeah. So what I feel in my golf swing is very much what Lee feels with his C motion. He basically comes here and then he fires it out there. He wants to get outside the golf ball because he's going here. That's how he gets all his whip shots. And I feel that too in my golf swing. I don't want any of this. I fire it out there and then it goes here. It just takes my body through. So we'll call it the USD, guys, the ultimate slapdown. Okay, let's go into a little bit about what we need to do with it. Okay. Now, I think if you can get your arm in that orientation at address, which is where it's going to be at impact, that's great. Where that is there is what you should try and maintain in the backswing. If that's where we've got our grip, here, and that's where we want to be at impact, then take it back like that. Just take it back, fold it, and then fire it out. Just throw it out there, slap it out there. So take it back like that. It's the claw, here. We don't want to turn the club this way. We just want to take it this way. Keep the club looking at the ball. Now Lee never talks about that, and that's my deviation from his process and what I used to do when I first started playing golf. But the slap down and the slap out, absolutely that in the system. And of course Lee gets the club way back here. He's very flexible, very strong, solid guy, but amazingly flexible. And he's the guy that broke a lot of shafts, guy. He changed his direction with such load that he just bust shafts. Just absolute hammer merchant. Okay, guys, so we're going to be slap happy. Slap happy. Here we go. Going to take it back here, and we're going to fire it out there. Okay, first shot of the day. That's perfect. That wind is ripping across here. 4-iron guys, that's just killed up there. First shot of the day. Slap happy. Slap happy JH. So have it here, guys. You have the claw come here. We don't want to rotate it, we just want to go here. And then fire. Now the other thing, guys, as we do that, we want to just make sure that this comes across with it. Soften that left arm as much as you can. If you can actually have a bit of a bend in it, 3-lever golf swing, why not? Right on top of the other golf ball. Really nice hit. Okay, now that we've warmed up after 2 shots. Now guys, the other thing I wanted to talk about today was trying to eliminate side to side. We don't want to transfer the weight like that. We want to transfer it in an augering fashion. If we could basically stay here on this lead axis here, just stay here and transfer our weight there, and then just bring the club back with a straightening arm and a turning of this quadrant here into the ball, that'd be perfect, because you've got real good containment. We haven't moved. Now guys, if you can have this lead axis basically play a role here, we don't have to do that. We just stay here. Now Lee Como does that beautifully, and I think that's where he gets all his power, because, or a lot of his power, because he really does auger himself. So we'll work on that lead axis. Boy, is it windy. Just got to be a little softer in the backswing. Perfect there. The ultimate slap down, guys. A lot of people have said I've been very slap happy in my golf over the years, so we're really going to fold this. Whoa. See, that's a lot of clamp for me. I mean, I normally don't clamp the ball. Now, Como does. Yeah, Lee clamp. The range owners must hate him because he absolutely just denudes the ground of grass. When Lee's been there, it looks like an excavator's been in. He takes divots like you wouldn't believe because he's so strong and he hits down so hard. But yeah, that's a lot of clamp for a long iron. I mean, I don't usually clamp the ball like that. That's more my style, just a perfect clip. Guys, they're all landing in exactly the same place. Same ball flight. Okay, we'll work on that that lead axis, keeping it in place. Got to turn the shoulder a little bit more. What you've got to be cognizant of, guys, is don't get too preoccupied with just cocking the forearm up with that tricep curl and the claw and keeping the face look and not turn your shoulder because you can't time it from there. Guys, I feel a lot of width in the downswing. I feel the slap is there very much on the outside of the ball. That's a funny that's a bit of a funny thought for a lot of you. Think of hitting the outside of the golf ball, but if you're hitting it like that, guys, with the club turning like this, coming from here and turning like that, that's a perfect covering action on the golf ball. You're always going to get that draw, and Lee hits it with a hard draw, and these are not a hard draw, they're just a soft draw, because I haven't got the compression that Lee has. But I try and hit it on the outside of the golf ball. I've always tried to do that my whole life. Exactly the same shot every time, guys. Okay, so what are we putting in today? We're saying we don't need to move off this too much. Just stay there and basically auger like this. I mean, I've always had a consistent ball flight my whole life, which has always been that little feathered draw, but this is, I mean, I know it could never go over here and it couldn't go there because I've got this action going out. It's going out there and then flicking over. Now I'll try and get still a little bit of Lee Como's thought process through the ball. He wants his out action to be there. This is his hand action. He goes here, guys, he gets it there and then he just throws it in here. Of course, this whole trail side quadrant goes with it, so we'll get a bit of that action. Like that. Wow. Look at this, guys, that whole trail side. Boy, that's long. See, that's 2 iron distance. That's flying the other balls by 20. That's that. He very much hits it with this. And when I hit it good, guys, I feel like the club is contained. If it had a little bracket out here and a bracket out here, the club never gets away from here. As I come in, I fire it out there and I chase it with this. I don't just fire it past the body like that. I get it out there and I chase it with this quadrant. Now that's something we can talk about in more detail going forward. And I don't want to sort of have too much in one session. Doesn't get any better than that, guys. I just wish you could see those balls. They're all the same. Everyone's identical. For you guys that don't know about Lee Como, there's still some on YouTube, not as much as there used to be. Just C Motion, or Lee Como. It's Comeaux. Very difficult to understand him because he's very much internalized in the way he understands the swing, and he can't externally verbalise it. I know if I sat down with him, I could certainly help him from that point of view. And maybe we might do that, Lee, one day. Okay. But here, guys, with slap down, ultimate slap down. You don't want the club coming this way. You want it going that way. It's got to go out. Must go out. Like that. It's got to go out there and over. Out and over here. Just here, here. You don't want to jam underneath. And I think that's why Lee gets so much power, because he really straightens that trail arm. Okay, here we go. We'll really put some hurt on this. That's the best one I've hit, guys, since that's hybrid distance with a 4-iron. That 2-iron that I said I'd hit up there, that's flown that. So that's hybrid distance with a 4-iron. So there's a big speed increase there for JH with this action of, this is the hand action. It goes from here to out there to here. Here to outside the ball and there. I mean, that's really powerful. Well, this is getting a bit scary, guys. This is very scary. Okay, that wind's off the right then, it's coming across, but that's almost 3-wood distance, 4-iron. This is quite a feeling. And this is the ultimate slap down. This is really crazy, scary stuff. At my age, being able to pick up that type of velocity. Okay, if I told you that was driver distance, you wouldn't believe me, would you? Because it's not. But it's almost 3-wood distance with a 4 for me. That's where I normally hit my 3-wood up there. Okay, it's a little bit of, the wind is coming across, so I might be picking it up, but I mean, if it's going to go 15 yards more, but guys, that flight is just something else. I got to tell you. That is just something else. Slap down, ultimate slap down. Come on, baby, get up there. What would you rather do than something like this? I don't think there's any feeling like being on the practice fairway and hitting balls with the purity that you get out of this. So Hogan said, the thrill of hitting a pure shot, it goes through the club, into the shaft, into the grip, into your arms, and straight into your heart. And that's the feeling you get when you hit a shot like that. It's just a beautiful feeling. There's not much to think about, guys. All we've got to do is just make sure we turn that left shoulder, hit it out. There it is. Tell you when it comes down. Now. So guys, yeah, look, I'm just going to do a bit every day, because I just want to give you a little bit. We're going to call it the ultimate slap down. Going out to the ball. We want a hand action that does that. We want to chase that hand action with this quadrant. We don't just want to throw that out there and leave this back here because you'll hit big pulls. But we're going to hit it with our right pec. Keep the club in here and just fire that right pec into that unfolding of the trail arm. What a great shot. Okay guys, there's going to be bits every day. Might turn the camera around, hit some shots downrange. I'll come back and you can see, might be able to see ball flight, but they can't see this, guys. I mean, these things are motoring. So I'll just quit here and come back.